I've seen it all. Drunks who can't even remember their own names. Young men grinning at the law like it's a joke. People who've spent years imprisoned, not by bars, but by guilt. But none of that stuck with me the way one particular case did. A speeding ticket. That's right. Not murder. Not theft. Not even a fistfight in a bar. Just the state of Rhode Island versus Morris Bennett. Section 3114-2. Speeding in a school zone. It was ordinary on paper. But behind those words was a whole lifetime. And a heart that beat louder than any statute ever written. Stay with me until the end. Because this isn't just a story about the law. This is a story about mercy. And why I never looked at justice the same way again. Spring. March of 1997. Providence, Rhode Island. I was sitting on the bench in municipal court, courtroom 3. Just like I had for 37 years. That morning started like many others. Cold coffee, a rainy sky, a stack of minor cases. I wasn't expecting anything remarkable. But then my clerk peeked in early and said, "Next case is a 96-year-old man. Caught speeding in a school zone." I raised an eyebrow. 96 and still driving? The courtroom was half empty, but when he walked in, everyone turned silent. He was small. Fragile looking. Wearing a gray coat that hung off him like it belonged to someone else. A cane in one hand. Quiet determination in his eyes. Not fear. Not arrogance. Just presence. I opened the file, State of Rhode Island versus Morris Bennett. Cited for driving 38 miles per hour in a 20 miles per hour school zone on Elmwood Avenue. I asked, "Mr. Bennett, how do you plead?" He didn't look to his attorney. He looked straight at me. His voice was soft, but clear. "Ma'am. I'm not denying it. I was driving my son to the hospital. He's 57, but he's not like other men. His mind never grew past the age of 12. He depends on me for everything. And I was just trying to get him to his appointment on time." His lawyer stood and added, "Your Honor, they were en route to a critical medical procedure." The sign for the school zone was partially obscured by overgrown trees, and it was raining heavily. GPS hadn't updated. He had no intention of breaking the law. The prosecutor, young and clean-cut, stood confidently. "With all due respect, Your Honor, the law is the law. Rhode Island General Law Section 3114-2 makes it clear, school zones must be enforced strictly. We recommend a minimum fine of $85. I turned to the officer who issued the citation. "Officer Milo, were you present at the scene?" He stood. "Yes, ma'am." I pulled him over myself. He was cooperative. Polite. Honestly, I didn't want to write him up, but protocol is protocol. I took a breath. The courtroom was quiet enough to hear the rain tapping against the windows. And I said, "Mr. Bennett, the law exists to protect. But justice is about understanding. What you did wasn't reckless. It was driven by love. This court sees no criminal intent. The case is dismissed." He didn't cheer. He didn't even smile. He just looked me in the eyes and gave a small, tired nod. A thank you without words. A look I'll never forget. Closing words, afterward. 2 weeks later, I got a letter. From his daughter. It said, "My father said you were the first person in years who didn't see him as a traffic violator, but as a father. Thank you." That letter is still in the top drawer of my desk. Because if there's one thing I've learned after all these years, justice isn't just about punishment. It's about seeing people. Really seeing them. Behind every case, there's a life. Behind every mistake, a reason. And sometimes, the fairest thing a judge can do is to choose mercy.